Welcome everybody to the Healing Arts. I'm Judy Allen and my co-presenter Sue Johnson will now share more information with us.
Well, hello again. As Judy said, we are working together on this healing arts project and to help people deal with mental health issues, especially such things as depression and anxiety, as I mentioned before. Uh, a lot of it due to the results of the pandemic, which in a form we're still under because, COVID is still making its presence known. Now we are, beyond excited to have Miki Saito with us to discuss her music and how it can help in the healing process of folks dealing with mental health problems. Now, we also, just for your information, you'll be seeing an email and video about our upcoming performance showcasing for playwrights who deal with mental health issues in the form of stage readings. We have musicians coming to present their form of music in the arts, vocal and instrumental, and we have professional resources, experts coming in to talk about mental health issues. So Miki, again, another welcome. And would you share with us, before Judy takes over, how did you develop an interest in Shinotu? Pronounce the...
Actually, it's Shinobue, which means bamboo flute.
Okay.
It's a Japanese bamboo flute.
How did you begin to get interested in that kind of music?
Actually, I started out when I was 4 years old as a pianist in Japan. I was born and raised in Yokohama, Japan. I started taking piano lessons when I was 4. And then I was accepted to a Japanese conservatory when I was 12 as a pianist. And then I finished up my piano study there when I was 18. Then I came to the States. And at that time, I was really tired of piano. So when I came to the States and went to college, I started learning how to sing. I took voice lessons. Then one day I was playing the piano, Chopin or Beethoven or something, when no one was looking, and they found me and say, "Why aren't you studying piano?" And so I started taking voice lessons and piano lessons and got my bachelor's degree in piano and voice. Then for my master's degree, I chose opera. So I'm a trained opera singer. But because I'm Japanese and I'm a musician and I also compose, people have found me on the internet and asked me to do Japanese music. Although I was not trained to play any traditional Japanese instrument, because my background was piano and opera. And so, so I was kind of like making Japanese music with my keyboard with the MIDI virtual sound, not real sound of Japanese instruments like koto and shakuhachi and things like that. So, but I could sing Japanese songs because I grew up in Japan. I speak Japanese still. So I was singing Japanese songs and kind of playing virtual instruments of Japanese traditional instruments. But when the pandemic happened, I know this is such a long story now, but when the pandemic happened, I was teaching a lot, piano and voice. I was teaching a lot of students, but I lost a lot of students because I could not do any in-person lessons anymore when the pandemic lockdown happened. And I offered online lessons. And for example, I teach at Tri-C. Those students had to go online to finish up the courses. But my private students, they did not want the online lessons. They basically said, well, this shouldn't, last that long. So, this shouldn't last that long. So we'll just come back when the pandemic, we didn't even call it pandemic at that point. When coronavirus is over, we'll come back. But of course, they didn't come back because it went on and on and on. So during that time, instead of kind of getting depressed and thinking, oh, am I going to be okay? What am I going to do? I said to myself, ooh, this is a perfect timing for me to actually learn traditional Japanese music, Japanese instruments. I'm stuck at home. I can't teach in person. I have time on my hand. So that's how I got into Shinobue and koto. I also picked up koto, thinking if I picked up two instruments, I probably like at least one of them. And I ended up loving both. I still play koto as well. So that's how I got Shinobue flutes. I got a lot of them now. I got Shinobue flutes online, which was not an easy task, especially during COVID. And I found teachers online. So I have Japanese teachers. They have everything set up to teach it with a microphone and things. So we have a really good sound. So everything that I have learned came from Japanese teachers that taught online. So I know that COVID has been, horrible thing for many people. But for me, it has been a blessing in disguise because without it, I would not be playing this music. And then I am the only one who has these instruments, Japanese. These are rare instruments in Northeast Ohio. So I am very happy that I can share the music and then show the instruments that, when I play out there, most of the time, or I would say 100% of the time, they have never seen any these instruments at all. So I am very happy that I could do that. I set a goal when I got these instruments for a year because I thought it can't last more than a year, the pandemic. So in a year, I should be able to start performing. So I'm going to practice like crazy. I can't go anywhere anyway, and just practice and practice and practice like I was a music student all over again. And I did play in the summer of 2021 in front of people for the first time. And since then, I haven't stopped.
Get some exposure to your wonderful performances in the first minute of this podcast. So
Thank
would you please comment about how your music lends itself to healing people?
Yeah, so the topic of healing is very, very important to me because, first of all, my daughter is a mental health care professional. She just received a PhD in counseling psychology, and myself, I suffered from eating disorder and also seasonal affective disorder, SAD, where you get depressed, anxious, when you don't get enough sunlight. And of course, in Cleveland, we are known for not having have plenty of cloudy days.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So I actually discovered that I had that, and I use light box to, ease up, and then immediately it worked. So I knew it was that's what I have when I got the light box. And so the sound of Shinobue is very healing sounding, it just very calming. So I have created a lot of music that I created just for that healing purpose of healing the mind and the soul, the spiritual. That is such an important topic or elements that I want to bring in with Shinobue. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love Shinobue more than like the other instrument. Koto. Koto is wonderful too, but I saw a lot of potential in this instrument to heal people, so that I can use this instrument to heal people and give release. And I think that the video that I just released, that video that you kindly showed just now, I just released that, I think today, yes, today. And that video is really on sole purpose is to free people from fear, trauma, and guilt. So those three elements.
Miki, I'd like to interject and ask, have you had any personal experiences that you'd like to share that also build up your interest in healing and your music? And if you care to share how you adjusted after your personal issues with a situation that I'm sure caused your sadness, depression, anxiety for a bit, maybe.
Yes, I think you're referring to my family situation.
If you care to share at this
Okay,
yeah.
I would love to, but I'm not sure if my family allows me to do that right
Okay.
at this moment. So maybe not. Sorry.
Well, it was something that happened in your family that caused
Exactly.
your mental health situation. Did music help you adjust to your situation or soothe your situation?
I think so, but the issue that my family went through happened when I was really young, and I think that when you're young, as I was 18 years old at the time, and I think when you are young, I think you used music to let the anger go because I think when I was a teenager, I was angry
Okay,
about the
a lot are,
situation.
a lot
So
are.
yeah, I have matured, and now I feel like I can use my music to actually express calm and peace.
Okay, Judy?
Just as right now, let's listen to another snippet of one of Miki's compositions, and I will cue it up right now. And
And then we'll begin to close the segment.
And I'm going to end it right there. And just wonderful, Miki.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Absolutely beautiful. And I hope our viewers and those expressing issues with mental health things, as I said earlier, such as depression and anxiety due to loss. You know, there's been a lot of financial loss, family relationships, divorce, domestic abuse we have to address because that's been noted as an increase. Now, Miki, we didn't have enough time to see all of your music. So
No
where
problem.
can our viewers see and purchase your music if they'd like, or to even this snippet to let it drift in and begin to spend a few minutes just to calm the soul and the spirit?
Sure. So I have a YouTube channel with Shinobue, and it is called Miki Saito, Miki Saito, Saito, Shinobue, Shinobue Adventure. So Miki
Okay.
Saito, Shinobue Adventure. And also I have a website, Miki Saito, I'm sorry, saitomusic.com, Saito music.com, and that has all my music there as well.
Okay.
It's all free.
Are you available for public performances as well?
Yes, I perform all the time, public. Yeah.
Okay, and is there an email address that people contact you by or your website?
Yeah, website is great.
Okay,
Yes,
would you give
Saito.
that address again for us,
Yes,
please?
Saito, Saito music.com.
Thank you. Okay, Judy, we're about out of time, so together let us thank Miki for contributing to this idea of how music, instrumental music, can help address mental health issues. Your closing words, ma'am, Mr.
Just saying thank you to Miki, and I truly feel calmer and more
I'm so glad.
just a lot better having spent these few minutes with you and listening to your music. Thank you, and God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Well,
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much,
And
Judy
we
Sue.
hope we'll be able to showcase you again.
Thank you so
Your
much.
beautiful music. And on a closing note, I know you may or may not, how did I say it? Like that the fact that I mentioned, if anybody else is familiar with I call it metaphysical music as well. Silk Road was
Yes.
was another fantastic, soothing
Mhm.
musical outlet. So thanks again. Take care. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.
You too.
And we look forward to seeing you again. So
Same here.
love you, appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.